What's good? We back. Marcy Sports Talk in the building. Told we had a special video, and we will be covering college football some this season. Talk about the Michigan Wolverines, which I am a fan of, and I will cover the Spartans, man. Local products, and we try to do it to the best of my ability and not hate Sparty too much, and try to call it down the middle as much as I can. Even up to the big game between Michigan and Michigan State, which it's always a good game. But today we're talking about the Big Blue, and Jim Harbaugh extended an invitation for Chris Webber to be an honorary captain on one of the football games this fall, and to a lot of people's disbelief and shock, Chris Webber actually accepted. Now, Chris Webber had a strange and a real strenuous and not so good relationship with the University of Michigan after the Ed Booster thing, where he tried to lob it down and say that he didn't take money from Ed, and Michigan got like a 10-year ban or something like that. Jalen Rose, knew that Ed wasn't the bad guy, and he just wanted to help kids. And if you made it, he just asked you to pay some of the money back when you made it. But if you didn't make it, he didn't want none of the money back. And Jalen and Chris Webber and the rest of the Fab Five, or the other four, three if you include Jalen Rose, basically they had a good relationship with Chris Webber. He didn't do the 30 for 30 Fab Five thing when they did that documentary. And he ain't been really talking, man. And you don't really see him around the city as much neither. You see Jalen Rose with his charter school and always repping Detroit and stuff of that nature. And not so much Chris Webber, man. He don't really come back and give back. I mean, a lot of guys don't, man. A lot of people don't know Howard Isley, the old point guard for the Jazz, and Derek Mason, old Mumford Mustang. You don't really see him giving back. You see Jerome Bettis and a few other guys, but there's a lot of guys that from Detroit and that played in professional sports that don't give back, but Jalen Rose isn't one of those guys. Chris Webber don't give back, and he's, in my opinion, he's atrocious calling basketball games. But I haven't really liked him I really haven't really liked him of late, man. Especially after this Fab Five stuff, he just never came clean about the Ed situation. And Jalen Rose is telling people the real truth, and he's still lying about it 20 years later. He still just can't man up and clear that man's name. He's, people around here know the situation and know the real deal about that situation. That's why the relationship is so strange. It's not because, they got banned or whatever. It's because Chris Webber lied, man. And that's the God honest truth, man. But, this is, Harbaugh, he does things like that. He invited Obama to be an honorary captain at one point, and he does things like this, man. He does a little thing like this to kind of keep the juices flowing at the University of Michigan. And it kind of started to rub people the wrong way, because it's rubbing people the wrong way because Michigan not winning, and that's because of, he ain't had a quarterback. Offensive line play been a little bit piss poor. So if he starts winning, all this, giving 13-year-olds, offering them, extending them scholarships, and out there practicing without a shirt on, and these little camps that he's doing around the league that Nick Saban's getting mad because he didn't think about it, and all this little hate that he's getting. He started whooping on Michigan State and Ohio State. Everything that he's doing that's starting to rub people the wrong way, it's going to start rubbing people the right way because he's winning. Everything he's under the microscope for is because he's losing. He's came here, he hasn't done what he was supposed to do, and he needs to start to win. That's what it is, man. It starts with the quarterback position. I mean, shoot, he got a long list of blue chippers, man, from the McCaffrey boy, to the kid from Florida, from Shea Patterson he done brought in. So he got a lot of talent at the quarterback position, man. And it's time to win. He brought the kid in, the quarterback that was terrible. Not Rudock, it's the other guy. I can't remember his name. Spate and O'Corn. He's sorry. So he got to start winning if this rub people the wrong way. But I think it's Harbaugh trying to mend the relationship between Michigan and Chris Webber, and it needs to be mended. Chris Webber need to come home and admit what he did, do right by Michigan. Because at the end of the day, people say, well, he's the reason why they got banned 10 years. They didn't win the championship or whatever you want to say. But he did make the University of Michigan a lot of money, being a star athlete, being the spearhead of the Fab Five. He could have went to any other, university in the country. He ended up being a number one overall pick in the draft, and that actually, wearing the black socks, the shaved head, and adversity, and just the mystique of the Fab Five. I know Bob Knight was hating on it, saying they didn't win anything, and he can shut up too. But the mystique of Michigan and that lineage, even going back to the Glenn Rice team, that kind of still sells today. That Steve Fisher team, that still sells today. People think of Michigan basketball, they think of the black socks, the shaved head, the Fab Five, Jalen Rose, Jimmy King, Gray, Juwan Howard. They think about those guys, and that still sells. And if they can, mend a relationship with Chris Webber, and he can start kind of, being a, ambassador for Michigan, and and all of that, and he can work with Beeline and help recruit kids and show his face, kind of like Jalen do. That'd be huge for the University of Michigan, and I like the idea of Jim Harbaugh trying to mend that relationship. I know a lot of people might not, but it's Motor City Sports Talk. Like I said, we're gonna get into some college football pretty soon, man. I can't wait. That might do a little bit coverage from some high school football games, man. I might bring out some coverage from there. Let me know if y'all would like that. But we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Don't forget to follow us on those platforms, or like us, or subscribe, whatever you want to say. Continue to subscribe, share the video, share. We pushing the new media and getting the old media up out of here in Detroit, man. That's what we trying to do. Motor City Sports Talk. We gone.